is started many years ago, where we all thought that interactive video had already been invented. Well, sure, it has already been invented. There's Skype. There's live video that's already been invented. There's YouTube. Well, one thing's for sure. I thought about it. I looked at YouTube and asked the question, if I was doing a talk show, could I actually have someone on the talk show with me? No, YouTube Live doesn't offer that. Well, then I looked at other interactive video platforms, and I'd say I have a great idea. I have a really great idea. It's a show called Driving with Idiots. You want to see one, but please never be one. And then I thought about it, and guess what? I couldn't have a show and have unlimited viewers. I mean, everyone hopes something goes viral. I mean, you know, but I couldn't have unlimited viewers. Well, then I started thinking, well, I have an idea. I want to do a talk show, and I'd like to have individuals in the field, wherever they are, come on the show with me. Do something like, when I was growing up, I always used to like to imitate the weather forecast people. I'm from Miami, and it's a beautiful weather forecast here. It's partly cloudy with no chance of rain. Highs are in the 90s, lows to mid-upper 80s. The relative humidity is about 60% at winds are blowing 5 to 10 miles per hour. And I just went on. And in Miami, you got a report called Bay and Inland Waters, light to a moderate shower. Because we all, you know, we went fishing, we went boating. When jet skis came around, we tried those. And they got a couple of scars here and there to show you. But either way, I was wondering, well, why couldn't I have people come on the show with me? All right. Then I say, great, I'll start a podcast. Well, guess what? With that podcast, everybody can hear me, but I couldn't have individuals in the field see me. Well, I don't care about being seen, but if you're having a conversation, you like to get face to face. Okay. Then I said, well, if I did a podcast, could I actually have someone right next to me on stage or on the screen? No, you can't do that. Huh. If I did accomplish that, could all of this be archived? And so someone could watch it later, automatically captured and organized by two things. One, by category, which is pretty simple, and then two, by location. Now, I see a few people getting in line here, and I wanted to share something with you. But speaking of location is really very important when it comes to businesses getting business. We're going to revive that over time. In any event, there's a couple of things that's happened in the news today. Let me play this clip for you. You guys know our fellow actor and comedian Kevin Hart. Well, Kevin Hart was in an accident. Yep, he was in an accident, and he's okay. He's gonna make it. But you guys watch this clip.
Kevin Hart is lucky to be alive after a horrific car crash. The comedian was a passenger in his 1970 Plymouth Barracuda when it rolled into a ditch. In these images obtained by TMZ but not verified by NBC News, emergency crews can be seen responding to the accident. The roof of Hart's muscle car completely smashed in. Hours before the accident, the comedian posted this since-deleted video of the car on his Instagram page. According to the California Highway Patrol, Hart and two others were in the vintage vehicle Sunday when it turned onto a Malibu area highway, and the driver immediately lost control. The car then left the road and rolled over down the northern embankment. Hart was able to escape the wreckage and went to his nearby home to get medical attention. Authorities say he suffered major back injuries, but did not offer specifics. According to the police report, the driver of the car was Jared Black, an actor and filmmaker. He was trapped behind the wheel, and firefighters had to cut the car's roof off to get him out. He also suffered serious back injuries. Investigators say alcohol was not a factor in the crash.
That's very good news.
The third passenger in the car was fitness trainer Rebecca Brocksterman, who was engaged to Black. Over the last decade, Kevin Hart has morphed into a megastar, selling out arenas as a stand-up comic and appearing in a string of blockbuster movies.
Well, you guys know Kevin Hart, okay? Bless his heart. He's recovering now. Y'all keep him in his prayers. In your prayers. Also in the news, we actually have that used to be tropical storm sitting off the coast of Florida. And I'd like you guys, as you do your shout outs, I'd like to see what's your prediction? What do you say? All right. In the meantime, watch this video clip as the update before it was Category 5. See how accurate they were.
I want to begin with NBC meteorologist Michelle Grossman with the new details on this storm. Michelle, I know we're getting an 11 a.m. update, so we have new details on how this storm is progressing. Take us through what we know so far.
All right. Hi there, Yasmin. Yeah, we did get our 11 o'clock advisory. It is down to a Category 4 storm, but just by a hair because it's at 155 miles per hour, 156 miles per hour, puts it into the Category 5 zone. So the good news is we're starting to see a little decrease, but it is painfully slow and still moving painfully slow. Let's tell you where it is right now over the Grand Bahama Island. It is pounding this island. We've heard of homes being washed away, cars being washed away, roofs being ripped off, and this will continue over the next 12 hours. So they are being lashed because this is parked right over them.
All right, I'll stop the video now. Guys, do you realize that it's still over the Bahamas? All right, we're going to bring a guest on stage. Let's see. Let's go ahead and bring, let's see, Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson, let's see. Let's make sure all this technology works. Let's see, how's it going to work? And he's going. All right, there's Mr. Watson. All right, there's Mr. Watson. All right, you hear that feedback? Go ahead and stop, your unlimited viewing. Go ahead and pause it.
Interviewing.
Yes. Okay. Okay. As if you're watching the show. As if you're watching it.
Okay. As if I'm watching. Okay. This part, all this new technique is extremely new for me. So I'm looking at the top, like, okay, where is he talking about? This is at.
Don't worry. Don't worry. All right. When you click, all right, guys. All right. When you click, one of the first times. Go ahead and mute his mic here. As a producer, oh, okay, should be able to mute. All right, as a producer, I'm able to mute a participant's microphone for whatever reason. In this case, it's a little technical difficulty. And in the meantime, if you have someone, if you're actually running a talk show and you have someone misbehaving, you can mute their mic, you can mute their audio. And of course, if they're really misbehaving, you can kick their butt out of there. All right, we're going to try Kevin again. Kevin, if you're listening, I'm getting a whole bunch of text messages here. All right, if you can't log in from Facebook, just go ahead and create a login. Use Gmail or just simply create a login. We're working our way through the technical difficulties. It's been quite some time. I see Heather and Michael and Kat and Jeff and all you guys are going to come on down. All right, I'm going to unmute your mic, Kevin. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Yes.
Okay. All right. You got a little bit of delay.
What if I turn it down a little? Does that help? I'm controlling the speakers. Does that do
Okay.
anything?
I'll tell you what. Were you watching the show at first?
Was I watching it? Yes, I was watching it on another channel.
Okay. Go to that and hit pause.
Okay. All right. Want me to go to that channel and just X out of that? Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, you can X out or hit pause. Whatever interaction we do right here, we're actually a few seconds ahead of everybody else who's watching.
Okay. All right. So I've X'd out of everything that's on my system.
All right.
So that's gone.
Perfect. Oh, well, hold on. I'm hearing a little feedback there. Let's see. All right, Kevin, I'm going to send you out. Close everything out and come back in. Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. I just hit the kick button. Nothing against you, Kevin. I've never really kicked anybody off the stage, but I just wanted to see. I tested it, but you see how it works. All right. Now, you see there's technical difficulties. This is why there's proof of this concept. To get all of these video feeds to work together, there's up to 4 people who could be on the stage at any one time. All right. So we're going to go back to Kevin, but I want to make sure his audio is clear. It was clear, but make sure that there was no secondary audio in the back. So now what's coming up, this is the second episode of Proof of Concept. Now I wrote something on the board right here. I am not a producer. I'm not a guy who's in front of the camera. I'm just a guy who wanted to do a talk show about driving with idiots, because I like to see one, but I never want to be one. And I found that there was a difficulty in, take Skype, for example. Skype has figured out a lot of things for many years. And when I started this, I did not plan on creating and hiring software developers and everything else. I see Kevin's back. Let's give him another shot. But I didn't plan on starting from scratch. So you'll hear more about that in a minute. Let's just bring Kevin directly back to the stage. Right now, he's seeing a countdown that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, letting him know that he's about to come directly on stage. So if he enables his camera, yeah, we got a little. Do you hear that?
I do.
Okay. I have no idea what that is. Because what we have is latency that is very tight and shouldn't be. Okay.
And just FYI, I'm on an actual laptop, so I don't know if that makes a difference.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Like laptop video or things like that. Okay. All righty. Let's see. All right. If you put your audio on mute.
Yes.
Let's try that. All right. Now, if it's on mute, okay, let me know when it's done. Give me the thumbs up.
I put it on mute. I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
I put it on mute and I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, the audio that's going out and the audio that's coming in. We've got it away. I'll tell you what I.
Let me see. I got you on that. Let me try that real quick.
All right. Now, let me share with you something. There are different avenues to bring someone on stage. Okay. What I'm going to do is give Kevin
Oh wow. It shut me out.
And enter. Kevin, if you see that link right there, go ahead and copy that. Yeah, right in the text.
Yeah. So I'm definitely having. So here's what I see. I pretty much see a picture of you. Well, I see you live. I don't see anything else that pretty much says you are on stage. So there's no guiding. There's no messaging or anything that I can see
Okay.
on my end at all.
Do you see yourself and
Yes.
Okay. All righty. And I'm not going to bring anybody else on stage just yet. If there's a problem with the audio, the difficulty, then it's just going to be more. All right. So do you see that? At all that I sent there? Scroll down a little bit.
There's no scrolling down on this right here at all.
Okay. Hang on, just one second. Randy here. Give me just one second. All right. Now I got a that say that there's a problem from last week. Stay there. I hope the main programmer is listening. The video clips, I can play them, not be seen. They can only be heard. Okay. All right. Okay. And there we go. All right, Kelvin, right?
That is correct. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Now, we communicate by email, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you send me your email address? I will apply to it. I don't want to give it out here where anyone can actually do it and see it. And unless you wanted to do that, but I'm going to send you that.
Okay. So I have my phone.
Okay.
At the same time, and so I'm able to check any messages or anything. I see where you sent me something. Is that the email you want me to check?
That is a link to bring you directly on stage as one of the hosts. Let's see if that will work. I didn't want to spend this time working through this.
All right. So I'm logging in, okay, to get directly to.
I mean, literally, there's a link I want to share. You copy and paste it, no need to log in. It'll bring you straight in.
Right. I see. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So.
You see the one that says talk show business?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and copy and paste that.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're 19 minutes in, and Kelvin's been a great trooper here, and he's been tolerating the technical difficulties. Kelvin is also a host, comedian, and I invited the comedians who are going to be applicants on the talk show called DrivingIdiots.com, or Driving with Idiots. Of course, you will see one, but never be one. Now, man, this is all right, Kevin. Appreciate you for working.
Not a problem. It's always good to get place you can do.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, you can copy and paste that link, and that'll bring you directly to not as a guest, but as one of the ones who's controlling the show.
Okay. So, all right. I'm on this. And would I click the area or some other area?
You should just copy and paste that link in the address bar.
You should just copy and paste that link in the address bar. Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay, let's do this.
So let me try.
Mm.
McCall, can you hear me?
I can still hear you.
I hear you. Okay, great. Okay.
And all right. And what I'm going to do is close you out there.
Yes, close me out of there. Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. While we're waiting on Kevin to come directly on stage, again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. We really have until the 24th to work through them. Sometimes when you fix one thing, you move this way, it pushes the entire hand that way ever so slightly. Or if you fold these two fingers down and you didn't realize that it moved your entire hand down. So this is explaining kind of like what's happened with the platform. Now, with Driving with Idiots, where we have comedians interviewing comedians, there have been two people chosen to actually do the interviewing process. Tremendous skill set. So these two are tough as nails, extremely witty, and funny as all get out. But I need them to actually interview the potential talk show host of the series Driving with Idiots. Now, how that's going to go, that's going to be season 1, episode 1 actually is that interview process. That's season 1, episode 1. That is that interview process where we're going to meet and greet, and we're going to talk to people. We're going to bring them on the stage, ask them why they're here, and ask them about how they segue between one subject and another. Okay, how they deal with someone who's unruly, how they really lift out and elevate someone who is, shall I say, rather droll. Now, those who are boring, they probably won't make it back the next week. Think American Idol. You have those contestants who actually move from one week to the next week to the next week. All right. It's a similar thing, except we're going to be interviewing. It's going to be an interview process. All right. I'm going to hold off on bringing anyone else on the stage right now. Sorry, Mike, Jeff, Heather, Kat. You guys are texting me, and yeah, there's a few others, but sorry about that. I will work hard to get these technical difficulties squared away. Now, it kind of makes it tough to move into the proof of concept. Now, this is supposed to be about ideas. On my whiteboard, I have a couple of ideas. Some of you like to do a reality TV show. And some of you would like to do just something about a docu-series or kind of drama, or some kind of investigation discovery-like event. So in any event, that's kind of like what this platform would offer you. Of course, we're starting off with an industry where we can get some really heavy advertisers in there, but it's really open to everything. All right, let's try Kevin again. The rest of you guys just hang on. We're going to get Kevin on the stage here. All righty, let me do a private chat. Okay, we still got the same thing. All right, I'm going to close the private chat. All right, so here's what's happening. All right, let's try it again. All right, let's try it again. Okay. All right, Heather, you're texting me. Let's try that. Go ahead, try it. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go forward. I have no idea right at this moment how many people are watching, but in any event, the analytics after the show would actually show me. Sure, I could do it during the show, but it'll be somewhat distracting. All righty. So let's see here. Let's try Kevin again, and if it doesn't work this time, we'll bring the rest of you guys on. See if it's just on Kevin end. All right. All right. Can you hear me? Yeah, we still got that. We're gonna fix it. Huge amount to the programmers. Make sure this works. Last week, this was working after the, and now to the way it was.
And let me just also say that I'm actually on my phone. So the first time I was on my laptop.
Okay.
I'm on my cell phone.
Okay. So Kevin said that he was on his laptop and he was on his phone. Okay. Let's see here. Volume. All right. Kevin, and the rest, I'll probably meet with you individually. We're going to work through this, and we'll get this going. All right. You can hear me okay. There is the echo, if you will. You say something, and then you hear your voice like the half a second. Okay. All right. And all right. If you could just hang on, get back on, would you? Okay. Get back in line. All right. Welcome. All right. And we're going to. All right, we're going to try someone else. See if it's on Kevin's end. I doubt it. It's probably something with the program. All right. We're gonna continue with let's see. Heather put her name in. Heather, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
All right. I hear no feedback.
Outstanding.
Okay. Welcome to the show, Heather. Why don't you tell the viewing audience the elevator speech about what you do and pretty much where you're going?
Ooh, the elevator pitch. Well, moved to Atlanta in January to get back into acting. And I ran into this guy, Eric, and thought this sounded like a great project. I've been doing all kinds of work in film, TV, commercials, movie, whatever. But this, I like it because it's interactive. So
all right, that's good. That's good. Well, speaking of interactive, why don't you share with the viewing audience your prediction of what this hurricane's going to do? It's just sitting out there.
What I hope it's going to do or what I think it's going to do?
Let's go with hopes. I like to go with hopes. I hope this problem with the feedback gets fixed. Well, let's talk about what you hope it's going to do.
I hope the low pressure system that's currently over the middle of the country is going to force it out to sea just as soon as possible, and it won't hit Florida, and we'll be able to divert resources to help the Bahamas because they just got walloped.
Wow. Have the pictures been coming in?
Unfortunately.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. You guys recognize that as Heather and I are speaking, there is no real discernible delay like with some of the newscast stations where they're kind of standing in the wind's blowing and they're out there and you got that 3 second, 4 second, 2 second delay where it's just, oh, back to you in the station.
Exactly.
We have that actual interaction. All right. Now, as I was sharing with the viewing audience that Driving with Idiots in September, we're in September. Okay, Driving with Idiots in September 24th is going to begin on the evening at 6 p.m. Now, one thing about it is that it's going to be comedians interviewing comedians. All right.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong? Yeah. Speaking of which, I put a heavy burden on all of the applicants all of you guys out there watching, if you didn't want to come on, if you kind of dropped off as we were having technical difficulty, the burden is no profanity. All right. Now, I could put together some words. I could even create some. The idea is not to be grammatically correct and cuss somebody out. The idea is to be able to get your point across in a real heartfelt way without having to push away those advertisers like Jim Ellis. I bought cars from Jim Ellis before. And without having to push them away because they aren't the ones who want to support a really foul show. All right. So these are some of the heavyweights that I've placed on the applicants. Now, Heather, would you mind telling the viewing audience? You shared with me, we had a private conversation. You shared with me that you have some camera equipment that really allows for you to function as a one-man, quote, woman show.
I do, yeah. I found some equipment on Amazon and kind of stocked it until it was at a price I was willing to pay. But I have an 18-inch ring light, and it's adjustable to different heights. I'm short, so that doesn't help me that much. But it has a warm setting, a cool setting, and any range in between. And I can control all of it with a remote. It's amazing. So I do my own headshots, and I've been helping friends do theirs. It made more sense to me to make a one-time investment in that and to learn how to use it than to every couple of years have to keep paying someone else to do my headshot, my demo reel, and whatnot.
All right, good. She's photogenic and she's smart. There we go. All right, now I had prepared for you a few concepts of how someone could actually use the platform. This is Proof of Concept, Episode 2. Episode 1 was the overview. Episode 2 is just to give you guys a couple of ideas, and we'll run through those really quickly. And Episode 3 is going to be a behind-the-scenes look at the producer controls and how simplified they are when it comes to you doing your own show if you decide to go that way. We have many people from the automotive industry that I've invited to begin to take a look at this. And then Episode 4 is Show Me the Money. So where we show you that, yes, here are the two major ways you would actually monetize this concept. All right. Now, I went through a hurricane. It was Hurricane Andrew. Andrew, it was August 22nd, 1992, I think it was. We evacuated, and when we came back, we didn't recognize the streets. I couldn't find my way. It was before GPS, and all the maps that they had were actually, hold on. For those of you who remember this, a road atlas.
Yes.
You know, this road atlas, it has every city, and it has just, you name it, and it's in there. Okay. Now, a lot of building has happened since this is probably the late 70s, early 80s. By State Farm. But anyway, I found this. A customer gave it to me, actually. All right. So, but when it came to that hurricane coming back in, I could not even find my way in. So after that, we ended up living in a travel trailer, Heather, a travel trailer for a year and a half while the house was being rebuilt. Now, I was thinking, wow, it'd be a great idea if I would have just bought an RV, you know, the kind that you can drive and just get around. All right. So, and then reality TV shows start coming out. And I said, what a great idea to put a reality show inside an RV where you could actually showcase the RV itself as you reveal the psychosis of, let's say, for example, cousin Frankie's family, whatever it is. The RV could be the sponsor, or the retailer could be the sponsor of that reality show. So that was just one idea that I had. Now, Heather, I read your profile, and your experience is extensive with business. Tell us your experience with an RV.
My experience with an RV, growing up, we would rent one and take it from my grandparents' place in Salt Lake City up to Bear Lake. And that side of the family is Mormon, so I don't even know how many of us there are. There would be a number of RVs. We'd take them up to Bear Lake and quite literally circle the wagons. And it was amazing having all the cousins there, growing up together. We do this once a year. We didn't have to worry about expenses for a hotel. We could do our own cooking. It was just incredible.
Okay, now see what you mentioned to an RV retailer. Those are so many features. Okay, you have visibility, you have comfort, you have how many does it sleep. I remember when I lived in it for a year and a half, we took the table out and you put the top down and the mattress kind of flipped over and it was a place to sleep. And an RV retailer would love to showcase that as they're in the process of being known, liked, and trusted. And trust is the final step that someone takes before they actually decide to buy an RV. All right. So I had a thought. What would you call a reality show that's local? I'm putting you on the spot here. I came up.
Local
Yeah.
and in an RV?
In an RV, once a week, someone does a reality show.
Locally in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, Metro Atlanta. How many counties? 17, 23. It's growing out there.
I think I would use it specifically in relation to all the amazing summer festivals that we have in Atlanta,
Yes.
and use the RV to go to all of those without having to worry about hotel expenses. And once you have an RV, that's paid for.
Yeah. Yes.
So some kind of summer adventure tour, just hitting the best of all the festivals. This coming weekend, there's a Korean barbecue festival. There's
Oh, hold up. Are you serious?
I'm completely serious. I don't joke about Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue. That's some good stuff. I'm
Yes.
telling you, they do it good. They talk to you too with the process.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So,
So
What
definitely be out there for that.
if we used an acronym?
Okay.
SAT.
Okay.
You said something area tours. Hold on. What was it?
Summertime, Best of Atlanta.
Okay.
You could pull advertisers from every festival, from the RV dealerships, if you were taking your RV to festivals.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Do
And
that all together.
speaking of RVs, did you know that 17% of everyone who has an RV actually has a Corvette in the garage?
Interesting.
So the thing is, there's a collaboration that happens with certain lifestyles. People who actually buy RVs, they've done well with the money.
I volunteer to drive the Corvette on the tour.
There you go. All right. I had a name for it. I was going to call it Around the Block.
I like it.
And it could literally just be around the block, waving to the same neighbors. As you develop the characters of each neighbors you wave by, the dog,
Oh yeah.
Right. And develop this idea just a little bit more. The 78% of all 78% of homeowners in America, homes in America, have pets. So it would be a great idea if that RV retailer or distributor or whatever, however it's structured, would, at the end of their show, would rescue pets.
I love it.
Okay, at the end of their show, they would say, okay, and I don't know if this exists or not, but they would say, okay, at the end of our show, we go to Becky in Pets Atlanta. Welcome to the SBAT Around the Block RV show. and can you show us the puppies, Becky? And then on the spot, she would be able, or he would be able to say, show the puppies.
Well, a brilliant twist on that would be to take the RV and use it to transport pets from areas that are hit by disasters like Dorian, because all the pets who are in shelters need a way to get out too.
Oh, pet rescue at his back.
Exactly.
Wow. All right. That's genius. All right. I'd like to access that genius some more. Let's go over to, I'll tell you what, a chiropractor. All right. The chiropractor is part of the accident recovery. All right. So a chiropractor, if your car is cracked, chances are maybe your body is cracked too. Now, I was coming from Stone Mountain and had my young daughter in the car, and we were rear-ended. It was a pretty good pop. Everything was fine. I mean, I did the man thing. Arr, I feel fine. Okay. Now her mother insisted go back to the chiropractor. Now she had been to the chiropractor the previous year because of headaches in school. So they actually had, Heather, they actually had, what do you call it? X-rays. They actually had X-rays of her spine. So right behind your neck is a curvature. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be concave, but hers was convex. Instead of caving in, it bulged out a little bit.
That's crazy.
She had no pain. So one of the first things that the chiropractor kind of broke it down and says, listen, pain is only a percentage of the indicator. We have to inspect it. Mm-hmm. So it's a part of the accident recovery. Well, insurance covered it. And he was a great guy. He's listed on the website as well. And by the way, if any of you guys are in the automotive industry, go to 360automarket.com and list your business. If you have inventory, you can put it there. All right. So Heather, in the chiropractor world, this here, let me just go right back to the press release that that Sandra Powell wrote, and I'm going to just kind of read this to you again here. Let's see. All right. A local car wash. Well, hold on. Let me go a little bit further. Live auctions. All right. Hold on. I had it queued up here. All right. All right. This is an example of kind of like what a local chiropractor could do. He could sell a service of helping with injuries and disorders of the musculoskeletal system. That same chiropractor can also receive ad revenue from the local accident attorney, used car dealer, new car dealer, tow truck driver, rent-a-car agency, and nearby body shop. So that is a collaborative effort if they all got together and they wanted to rescue some pets with the RV guy.
Right.
After the Dorian takes landfall.
Yes.
So those were just kind of a couple of ideas that I had. Have you ever been in an accident, a car accident?
Not that was my fault, but yes, I actually got rear-ended last December. And like you said, it was a pretty good pop, and the chiropractor was wonderful. Made a huge difference.
Okay. And you're okay today?
I'm doing great today. the first accident I was ever in, I was maybe 2 years old and obviously not driving. And my mom got rear-ended, and it's one of my earliest memories. And it really screwed up her neck. And the chiropractor was the only thing that helped her.
Wow. Wow. So those are two experiences. Do you remember it too? What went on?
Vaguely. I remember they were in a VW Bug. I remember turning around and looking at them. It's a strange, early memories are weird. But I don't remember being bounced around at all because I was in a car seat. But I remember how much pain my mom was in after that. And she was willing to try anything, but thankfully the chiropractor just worked miracles.
Okay. That's good. That's good. All right. Something else I want to move to is the, let's see, I'm looking at my whiteboard here. All right. A couple of shout outs. All right. What's your shout out? Birthday?
My shout out? Oh, no. My shout out is to all the first responders who are headed to the coast, headed to Florida, missing Labor Day with their families, to be there to take care of people as this comes through and once it's passed.
Okay. All right. You know, I've experienced a few hurricanes. Like I showed you, Hurricane Andrew. That was really my first time cutting trees. Since then, I've chased 4 more hurricanes and kind of cut some trees out of people's driveways, off some houses, pulled some out of pools in Florida. You know, it's definitely something that when you get into the zone,
yes,
no cell phone signal. So you're blind, deaf, and dumb to what's going on there. You get into the zone where you had better get gas before you got there, because there's no gas, there's no electricity or limited electricity. I remember one year along in Florida from the evacuation route, that water rolled into the tanks. It was so much. There was also other gas station that actually had gas, but no electricity to pump it out.
Right.
So yes, I'm very familiar with the hurricanes there. All righty. Let's see. What else? Okay. Other ideas. Now, in business, for those of you are watching, I see a few of you come on in the line here. I'm looking over here to my right. There's a line where up to 50 people can get in the line. I saw some come in the line and then leave. We'll work through whatever problems there are. It took a long time to put all this together, and obviously I thought it was fully ready, but we'll get it. We'll get it, definitely. Okay. There are a lot of subjects that people talk about in cars. A lot of them. Relationships, politics, business. They talk about religion, sports. A whole lot of conversation goes on in there. Now, in a car, you can really have a conversation about anything, a show about absolutely anything. So there are shows in politics that people could actually have. Now, 2020 is coming. The elections of 2020, it's going to be pretty fiery. Everybody's kind of like, what's going to go on? This is the Super Bowl of politics that's coming up. So you guys out there in the viewing audience, what if you had a talk show and it was about politics, and whether you chose one side or the other side or the other side or the other side, there's a lot of sides these days, and you decided you wanted to just hear what they had to say. Okay, so you could do this with this platform. On this side, you can have everyone who's for Trump. And on this side, you can have everybody who's not so much. And you can let the carnage begin. Well, you know, the idea is you want to moderate the conversation. All right. Now, Heather, you're still sticking around like a great trooper here. Can you tell me what your prediction, not about who's going to win and who's not going to, could you give me a prediction about, we're talking about the subject of politics and what ideas you can use with this platform. So throw out a talk show idea of conversation that could happen in 2020.
I would love to discuss what would happen if Trump's taxes come to light at the last minute. And he's been not paying taxes, been dodging them, been not paying people honestly, and that kind of thing. If we have solid proof of any of that, or otherwise, how that would sway people.
Okay, so you would like to, more like an investigative reporter, begin to uncover truth versus conjecture.
That, and I would love to have participation from both sides to discuss in a civil way what might sway one or the other.
Okay, all right. So your use of the platform may actually be a reasonable conversation.
Ideally, yes. There's no point in name calling and anything that isn't actual fact. I want to deal with in cold hard facts, not conjecture, not best or worst case scenario. I want people to look at the facts honestly and how they impact them. I think there are maybe people who didn't quite understand what a trade war would do to them, like many of the farmers in the Midwest with soy and lobstermen in Maine didn't realize how much China was contributing to our economy before the trade war happened. And I would love to hear an honest discussion on both sides of that issue.
Okay. All right. There you have it, guys. Another example of how you can have your own talk show and have guests on your talk show. And I promise you, it will be working by then. It works when we're testing. Something happens. Have you guys ever heard of the phrase bull in a china shop?
Oh, yes.
Okay, Heather has. And it's like, you know, wow, I've dealt with this so much that it's at a point where, oh, don't touch it. It's working. Don't touch it. Don't change the colors. You know, don't change the shape or whatever. You know, so in any event, all right, now, just to go back with Driving with Idiots. I bought the domain about 14, 15, 16 years ago, drivingwithidiots.com. It's instructional where you want to see one but never be one. If you're just joining the show, we're at the tail end. But we want to make sure that you know what this show is about. It's the proof of the concept, or whether we should be called not so much proof of the concept. We got some proof. Well, the idea is to actually talk about those driving habits. Quite frankly, texting while driving, I don't think the law really made much of a difference.
No.
I see people just continuously, and it's a new pet peeve of mine. And on those shows, Driving with Idiots, the episodes, at the end of every show, we're going to have what is called road rage rants. These rants will allow you to get it out. And before that show begins, we always have to give the disclaimer, warning. What you're about to hear or see may be unsuitable for young viewers and listeners. Discretion is advised. And then you'll click with the platform. You click one of the people in line and you bring them on the stage and you'll say, Jennifer and Alpharetta, welcome to Driving with Idiots, where you want to see one, but please never be one. What's your pet peeve of today? And we would be able to literally see Jennifer and hear her interaction. Now, we have Heather, who stuck around, got a great video feed. Audio's great, no feedback. And we got to figure out what happened there with Kevin and the other people in line. Heather, I'm going to ask you, what's your biggest pet peeve of driving?
Wow. That was a long list.
All right. Now you're driving around. Do you drive around the perimeter or?
Not if I can help it.
You bet.
My biggest pet peeve, and a little background on me, I'm a retired firefighter and EMT.
Ooh.
So I've cleaned up the wreckage of what happens when people drive distracted, whether it's being on the phone, texting, putting on makeup, whatever. I can't think of anything more selfish than to be just focused on you while you're driving with other people who have families, loved ones, places to be. But you're so selfish, you've just got to take that phone call. You can't wait. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The world's not going to come to an end if you wait to take that phone call or return that text. But I have good friends who lost their daughter because she was texting when she was driving. And the father was the responding EMT and the mother was working in the ER receiving the daughter.
Oh,
So that's going to be
serious?
distracted driving. I would love to take all those people who drive distracted and not only introduce them to my friends and listen to what their grief was like, but to run a call with the fire department and see what could potentially happen. Everyone always says, oh, I never thought it would happen to me. But that's what the person it happens to always says.
You know what? That's a great idea. We should, I'll reach out to, I mean, you're retired, you know some people. Why don't we go on a ride with them? Okay.
Excellent idea.
And let us, this will be a public service announcement, and let them kind of talk to the kids. Talk to those business people who have to just grab that next call, as you said, or someone who is just plain distracted. Maybe they got kids in the back and they're trying to schedule a doctor's appointment.
Right.
You know what? I really would like to do that. And that story there, that's heart-wrenching.
Her birthday was just a few days ago, so it's fresh on my mind.
Say it again.
The young lady who died, her birthday was just a few days ago, so it's fresh on my mind.
Sorry to hear that. Wow. Okay, well, we're going to do our part. We're going to do our part to just continuously notifying people. A couple of organizations I will be reaching out to: Mothers Against Drunk Driving. There's just a bunch of organizations out there. I got a list over here somewhere. All right. Heather, you've been a trooper. Thank you for joining me on the Proof of Concept. Next week, guys, next week is behind the scenes look at what the producer controls are like. Embedded into the program is a screen sharing feature. And I do want to let you guys know two things in the features. One, if you have an automotive business, or you have any kind of business really, if you wanted to get the platform, you could also copy and paste some automatically generating code into your own website so that the video feed can also be seen in your own website. So you could actually completely have a talk show in your website without having to come over to my platform. And also, again, it will be auto-archived over here, but it will go to yours. And also what's coming in the future, hopefully by the end of the year. And I know if we add it, we have to readjust and test everything else. It's going to be green screen technology brought in. So Heather, if you wanted to be in Hawaii, if you wanted to do the hurricane forecast, if you wanted to be in New York or as you're entering the club called Limelight, or in California, recovering from an earthquake, you would actually be able to take your viewing audience there and have
I actually grew up there and have been through a number of them. I was there in '89 for that earthquake, so that's right up my alley.
Wow, you are a trooper. I can't wait to hear more of your story. Well, guys, it's the end of the show. I really want to thank you for joining me. And those who were not able to get through, we will work those things out as technology goes. I hope we survive the technology that we're so attached to these days. And anyway, my name is Eric. I'm your host of Proof of Concept. And don't forget to join us on the 24th for Driving with Idiots, episode 1. It would be season 1. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.